I don't know how we gonna start. You want me to start? You want to start?
Well, you said to start early. I did, and then I was assuming you had something to say, but you clearly didn't.
No,
But
I do. So on today's episode of the Untitled Manny and Market Show, we're going to talk about why The Rock did not show up to WrestleMania. Plus,
no. We're going
no,
back to this thumbnail. Where's that thumbnail? Basically, tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. I win. 3 baldies.
yeah. The Rock is everybody's deadbeat dad. The people's deadbeat dad.
So we found out. So we just saw the headline from the Pat McAfee show. Basically, we'll tell the real reason behind why The Rock wasn't at WrestleMania. We got the fallout from WrestleMania after Raw with this new devastating faction.
Yeah, you got that man that sparks and the other man that sings. The crowd's never gonna shut up when they're out there. Bark.
We have Randy Orton slithering his way into the main event scene again.
Yeah, do I dare say it's 2025? Do we need John Cena and Randy Orton in 2025?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
One more time, baby.
We do. This is a Jeff Jarrett situation.
The Redeemer returns from his stint and being on the bench in AEW.
The man's been missing for 5 years. I'm just glad he's alive. And Becky Lynch kills a bird live on TV and turns heel, just like her husband. This is what I like when couples get together and realize, you know what? I'm done with this goody two-shoe shit. Let's raise some hell. All this and more on the Untitled Manny and Market Show.
No, that's it, Marcus. We've done the show. We're done. We're out.
That's it. That's all we got. We only got 2 minutes. How come we don't have the 1 Minute Man podcast? Why is there not a show for those guys?
Because you know why? Do you know why, Marcus?
What?
Because even if we did try to do this in 1 minute, it still took us 2 minutes to get through that.
We really like going through the foreplay.
Marcus, do you remember this kid?
Yeah, it's from Jumanji.
Yeah, did you know he's now the US champion?
I didn't realize he started dog walking people.
Welcome everyone to the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. If you didn't know, of course I am the racially ambiguous Lord Manny Hayes, and he is
Marcus the Grand Finale, aka the man with the suspect bank account, unknown amount of dollars. Thank you, WrestleMania. Thank you.
So basically, what we learned from the watch along is: 1, don't ask him about what suspect bank accounts mean. But that could range from anywhere from being under $1,000, so $999, to negative numbers.
Yeah. I've never had an account. Or it could mean I have a switch bank account, which could mean money coming from anywhere. Money laundering is happening. Let me start off, Betty. That man, The Rock, stole my money and I want a refund. If his ass, what he said on the Pat McAfee show is true, which I'm reporting secondhand because I did not actually watch the interview, because I decided to watch The Last of Us instead, because I do not care what that man has to say. The people's deadbeat dad, The Rock, was just sitting at home.
The people's deadbeat dad.
Yes. Was sitting at home as if he treated us as if we were Ava and just left us, wanting him to show up. But he never showed up into our life. He stayed at home and he watched WrestleMania. He said he knew all the finishes and all this other stuff. And the only reason he got involved in this John Cena storyline was because Ari Emanuel and the TKO higher-up said the Elimination Chamber in France, or it was in Canada or France, I can't remember. In Canada, were not selling well, and they asked him to show up. I'm going to say,
question.
Bullshit.
Who has a bigger case? That lady that got hit by Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Ooh. Are you talking about The Rock?
Or anybody that bought this T-shirt.
Ah, I think everybody that bought that T-shirt. There's more than that. There were a few of them. The final boss at return has the Brahma Bulls, a nice shirt. I thought about buying it because you don't advertise all of that without the man showing up. I don't know what happened. I feel like he had a hissy fit or something in the middle of this feud and was like, well, I'm going to do it my way. Or him and Triple H clash or something went wrong somewhere because he's out there doing PR because I know he feels he's to blame for the quote-unquote failure of WrestleMania 41. I had a good time. But he's blaming them for the failure of WrestleMania 41. I say he's full of shit, and I don't appreciate anything he's did. Done. The people's deadbeat dad. I want that coin. Coin.
The people's deadbeat dad.
He ain't nothing but he may as well be Lou from the Fresh Prince, and if I had time to Photoshop it, I would. But we're just getting this information right now. I'll be Uncle Phil in the image, and then you got a Rock and Lou talk about I can't hang out with you today. It's WrestleMania. Man had nothing better to do. Just tell me you were working on a movie. That's all I'm saying. Just tell me you were working on a movie. And I'll be like, oh, that's why you didn't come and finish the storyline. That's all you had to do is just show up. You could have just showed up on a Tron, be a satellite. Just to finish the storyline. Just to put a nice bow onto it, the reason why things are happening. Man, sick me.
So I want to talk about Steve Austin crashing into that barricade.
Oh.
So Brian Alvarez allegedly says that WWE are very nervous about this situation because obviously they could get sued. But when you buy those front row tickets, you're buying them at the risk that you might get that something may happen. Because I sent you a video, I'm not sure if you watched it or not, but during the Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania, Carlito took off the thing off the announce table and threw it.
Mm-hmm.
And that nearly hit an old lady in the front row.
Oh, they're gonna put the plexiglass up for
so
these
you
shows
saw
now.
it, yeah, you saw it and it came down and it nearly hit this old lady.
Mm-hmm.
I think that old lady has more of a case because that could have just slotted her. Whereas like him hitting the barricade, the force is hit by the barricade. She didn't actually get hit.
Exactly. That is the point.
The barricade, it's not like the barricade broke. She may have got impact and maybe had a small case of whiplash, but she has no broken bones because she sat there for the remainder of that main event.
Again, I will not call this lady a liar, Manny. I am not going to call her a liar. I'm not going to call her a fraud. I'm not going to call her a phony. I do not know how the impact could have hit her. I don't know how it hit her, but I don't know how it could have affected her. I mean, so I don't have all the details of it, but she does have a kind of a case because we do have video of Steve Austin missing that ramp first, which seems like he has no control of this RV whatsoever. And then he drives down and he breaks the door. And when you say they're protected by being in the front row, you expect shit to happen. I'm not expecting to get ran over. I'm just saying.
Well, she wasn't ran over, Marcus.
I know she was not ran over, Manny. I'm just saying. I was not expecting to be in a car accident while I'm in this. And I'm at a wrestling event. It just doesn't seem like that.
Like when I sit at front row at Eve and they come towards me, if I choose to stay there, that's my own fucking fault.
Yeah, but they're not driving an RV, Manny.
Still, a human body flying at you hurts.
You're expecting him to hit the brakes. You're not expecting him to hit me. I'm just saying, human body hurts, and RV hurts a lot more. And you know what? I'm more on your side. You and Kane in the chat. I'm more on you guys' side. That looked like a flop and looked like a sell and looked like I would go for the money. And I am not blaming her. I would do the same dive. I am a man of a suspect bank account, and we all know I would take that dive as well. I would be like an NBA player in the middle of the paint taking the charge. Come on,
I would literally say, I will not sue if that green shirt guy never gets his front row seat ever again.
I'm on his seat. I'm suing so I can get his seat. And I can hold my Trinity Daddy flag up right there.
Yeah, shit. I'm holding the flag of the penis.
So a lot of backlash. Manny, what do you think of the backlash of what's going on from WrestleMania in general? Before we get into the Raw after Mania, which seems like let's make everybody happy Let's try to make
Which
everybody happy
Backlash you
with turns
talking
and
about?
returns.
There's so many blame going around everywhere.
Yeah.
Which Backlash you talking about?
Who's your blame for WrestleMania 41? Travis Scott, suspect number one. The Rock, Triple H, TKO, and Endeavor.
No, I would say the tickets were going to be whatever the tickets were being. The tickets were being charged for every other event, the exact same. So I'm not going to blame. I'm not going to blame tickets. People knew what that was going to be. The lackluster booking of Triple H and the creative team going into that WrestleMania of you not caring about a lot of things is the reason to blame. Like I would pinpoint the Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton match, which technically going into WrestleMania was a bit like but then they decided to stir the pot, making things personal. Making things personal.
At
that point, at that point, they should be having that become more of a blood feud, and they should be having a gimmick match, a stipulation match, a gimmick match, whatever you want to be calling it.
Put them in a cage.
They shouldn't be having a technical wrestling match.
Yeah, that's how the whole story.
And then, for the same reason, Gunther and Jey Uso also needed some type of stipulation because this man just killed his brother, and I quote, bathed in his brother's blood.
Yeah. Jey Uso was praying to God a week before WrestleMania, shaking, talking about what he was going to do to you at WrestleMania. But then they just had basically a basic wrestling match. No blood, no violence. He choked him out, bumped the top right away. And that was the finish. That should not have been the case. It should have been more physical. It should have been a street fight of some kind or something that really escalates things. We should, there are matches or times when wrestling used blood, and sometimes it seems unnecessary. There were times in this show where it seemed like blood was absolutely necessary.
Yeah. So I would say it was the book. I would say it's down. If it should fall on Triple H and his creative team.
Yeah, but I would also say I had a good time still. I still had a good time. I still enjoyed the show.
Yeah, but
I do say there was a lot of flaws with it. It's a lot of flaws with it. A lot of flaws.
I'll tell you this: if I went back in time, and I was at WrestleMania 9, I would probably think of that fondly, even though it wasn't exactly the greatest WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all shoulders fall on the higher ups. The Rock is not innocent of blame here. I'm sure he has high stroke of being a member on the board. Higher than Triple H. So Triple H booking, yes, is to blame in general. But I don't know what the Rock's role was in the upper management of TKO or going like ticket sales. They need to stop worrying about what their ticket sales were doing and trying to raise these prices and all that. And just go back to lower the prices, and I think people would be happier.
I also think, how many weeks ago was it between? How many weeks was it between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania? Because I feel like it was more than a month.
Almost 2 months.
Yeah, you telling me The Rock and WWE and TKO couldn't work something out in that time to have Rock on the show? Because it didn't. It feels really petty and stupid if they couldn't work that out.
Yeah, but he is claiming that he did not want to take the spotlight away from John Cena and Cody Rhodes. If he was there, he takes the spotlight away. But you already do that when you're lingering in the background when you show up at Elimination Chamber. And if I'm correct, he showed up at Elimination Chamber around like maybe 2 weeks before that show and was trying to buy Cody's soul and did all that. If he was trying to raise ticket sales, he could have just said, I'm going to be there and not do the angle of the selling the soul, which he said he pitched to Hunter and them.
Well, see, that statement's bullshit from his exploits last year. So fuck you, Rock. Yeah. You tried to take away the main event from Cody Rhodes yourself, you little bitch. Yeah.
He keeps coming in every WrestleMania from 40 or the last 2 WrestleManias, inserting himself, confusing the audience. The story for WrestleMania 40 technically did not need The Rock to be involved. We just wanted to see Cody finish the story and defeat Roman Reigns and his bloodline. That's all we wanted to see. It technically didn't need The Rock. It got exciting when they decided to turn The Rock and side with Roman and all that, but he still was kind of a distraction in that one. and Roman kind of felt like a side piece even in that storyline. But it all worked out in the end. It all worked out. This year, not so much. They tried to do the same thing. He inserted himself into the same kind of situation, into the main event scene, and then kind of just vanished. And then put it all on Travis Scott, who I believe is getting unwarranted hate. It's not his fault that he got involved in this storyline. He is the celebrity guest appearance. All he has to do is show up, smoke some weed, wear some sage, maybe perform, hang out with somebody, and he's done. Instead, Triple H on his sideboard said, you know what, my finish needs Travis Scott. Maybe if they inserted Travis Scott as the special guest referee for the match, if they wanted to do that, and the final boss said, I wanted Travis Scott to be my special guest referee in this John Cena Cody match. There's some drama in every pinfall when Cena goes for the pin. If you did something like that, maybe it would have, I just think they just need to have a bookend story. You can't just tell a story where let me introduce a character and then boom, that character never shows up again.
Yeah, if you were going to involve Travis Scott in this, you had to have him show up a couple times before in between. But bear in mind, Cena never touched Cody in between. It was always Cody actually attacking him.
No. Cena threw punches and Cody countered. Don't put that on Cena. Cena threw punches first.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Cena's innocent.
He did. He was, and then Cody was like, "What? You old?" And then Cody crossroads into your transparent hair. Also, John Cena said he was bullied by the fans. Look at that transparent because they kept making fun of his ball spot.
Yeah,
it's still there though. I still see it. I still see you, ball spot.
Also, thanks to Jimmy and Kane for stepping in for Marcus and Eric on the watch along. It was fun to chop it up with the fans and the members of the show.
Yeah, please. We always enjoy talking to you guys. So remember, always leave a comment in the chat or send an email to the sharpshooters@gmail.com. Or, maybe you could end up on the show. You could be on the show. Money in the Bank may be a watch along, and you know what? We might not be available. My pockets say, nah, I will be available for this watch along. But who knows what money I can come up with.
My pockets say nah.
You doing a watch along, son. Hell, I may cancel your Peacock. But are you ready to move into the Raw After Mania? A little quick recap. We did a watch along for it, but you know what? We let the thoughts and stuff simmer in. A lot of stuff happened on this show. A lot of stuff. But a lot of nothing happened on the show as well.
It felt like a lot of nothing happened when you look at when you watched it.
But a lot has happened. Like the show opens with John Cena healing it up, making the announcer do a better announcement to his entrance, which in John Cena's defense, that second one was much better. I don't know who this rookie, this Rudy Poo, as The Rock will say, came up there with that mediocre entrance. Justin Roberts is screaming. He's getting ready to start his John Moxley scream right now. You got to give John a better scream than this. You got to give him a better scream than this and a better introduction. John Cena continues to say he's going to ruin wrestling.
Tell me how you're going to ruin it.
He's going to be the last real champion, Manny, and he's already posing that these fans are hypocrites. And he announced how many dates he has left, and he started going over the math of all the dates he's done. He started off high. It was like watching Squid Games and watching the money just go into the little piggy bank as people die off. And you go, oh my God, he's getting lower. And he's at 27 dates, not matches, appearances. So all he has to do is show up, hold the microphone, say some bullshit, and leave. And he has contractually did his obligation. So
on WWE.com, the Universal Championship is listed as retired right now.
Yes. Oh, so John has that, and he's the undisputed champion. And 27 days he plans on leaving as the last real champion. They're going to have another Raw. They're going to have another. He's going to ruin wrestling. They're going to have another Raw. They're going to have another champion. But none of them are going to be John Cena because he will never be beaten for that title. Meanwhile, a snake slithers behind him in the name of Randy Orton, an old foe from 2000 and his whole life, 2001 and on. and he RKO's John Cena, and it seems to be alluding to Backlash, St. Louis, Randy Orton, John Cena, one last time. And we're only like 2 weeks away from that.
Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's May 10th. It's really coming up quick.
That's too short. That's
Yeah,
too
so-
short of a time.
Well, I mean, since Wrestlemania has a bad taste in your mouth, man, you got to cleanse it real fast. You got to rinse it out real quick. Get that shit out of your system real quick because Backlash might end up being better and bigger than WrestleMania.
Then we go into a rematch from WrestleMania immediately. Liv Morgan and Raquel take on Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria for the women's tag team titles. And just as much as we realize these tag belts mean nothing, they change hands within 24 hours.
Well, Manny, I think those tag team titles mean nothing because one, Lyra Valkyria is also the Intercontinental Champion, which you refuse to acknowledge. He was a double champion for less than 24 hours.
Well, because those belts look so similar, it looked like she was carrying 2 tag belts.
Yeah, he was both tag team champions. I'm the tag team champions. She would say. But I thought this was a much better match than the WrestleMania match. It was more fluid. It seemed like they had more energy behind it. And Lyra cost them the tag team titles by getting pinned by Liv Morgan. Becky seems despondent about it and then immediately attacks Lyra and then walks away and get her again. Just for
and again.
Manny, I like this heel turn because I like when couples sync up. And I said that earlier, but I like that I don't have to question Becky's morals when I go, you're married to Seth. He's a piece of shit.
Well, I was questioning the family's morals in the first place, Marcus.
Oh.
Because Seth came in an SUV.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman was in the front, and then he opened the door and Seth Rollins came out. Becky comes into the arena with the tag belts with Lyra. Where's the synergy, though, Marcus? Where's the synergy?
Well, you never know. She was like, hey, I'll show with Lyra. We got to talk about the match. We got to warm up. We got to retain these titles. And Lyra was not hearing it. My sources told to me, Lyra deserved this turn because she was so hungover from the night before of celebrating that she's a double champion. And Becky's like, nah, we got to get it together. We got to stay focused. Maybe that's what Becky was. She was holding Lyra's hair back and she was throwing up in the toilet, hungover, and coked out in Vegas. She lived Vegas a little too hard. She never did Vegas like this in her life. And she was not ready for the match. And that's why Becky said, you're just nothing but a Jeff Hardy clone. I cannot work with you.
Let me tell you something. And it may be a stereotype, but I'm pretty sure these Irish women can drink all of us under the table.
That's what you would think. Becky, I'm sure Becky and was drinking, and they were drinking serious, but Lyra took it too far. Lyra, I need you to admit it. You're an alcoholic and have a problem right here on this show. Call in right now. You're drunk. Just tell everybody. You're drunk. You fell in some feathers and woke up. You had all types of shit in your hair. And ended up all in the rain. You're hungover. You're drunk and smelly. And
there was more feathers in her appearance at WrestleMania than there were at Raw.
That's not the point. That was Easter. You can have feathers on Easter. The day after Easter, you're just wearing. You were drunk.
Hey, it was still Easter Monday. You can still allow it.
Yeah, Easter Monday. I don't think there's a such thing as an Easter Monday. No one cares about Easter. He rolls on 3 days, and we're done with him after that.
Yeah, but we also need an extra day off
for observation. Because I need to observe how that day off went. Moving on, the New Day come out there after their lackluster title win against the War Raiders, and they're just talking shit. I don't remember honestly what they said, but the a responding tag team. I thought it was going to be Fraction or something coming out. But it ended up being who was it again? Oh, it was the Alpha Academy came out, and they were talking shit. And then
they weren't talking shit. Maxine was talking shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I put them all in the group. Maxine came out talking shit, talking about yada 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 yada.
You seem far more confident on the mic than she normally is.
Yeah. It's like someone was like, "You're the leader of this group now, Maxine." All right. And she went wah 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 wah. And then Rusev comes out there, makes a surprise return. He takes out everybody but the New Day. He takes out
Well, the New Day ran away.
Yeah, of course. I'm not dealing with that. I'm dealing with those. God's favorite champion or God's favorite former champion.
And his neck made of sand. That's such a great gimmick.
And his flexible hot wife. So the Redeemer comes, or I don't know if he's going to be a Redeemer, if he's just going to be Rusev.
It seemed like it was the same aesthetic because they changed the music. He didn't come out to the Rusev Day music.
Yeah, and he had a promo, that was exclusive to WWE.com that felt more Redeemer than it was past Rusev or Miro or whatever you want to call it. But he does this attack, and crowd seems to be happy about it. Manny, how you feel about the return of Rusev?
It's the first time in a long time where Raw after Mania is what it's supposed to be. The debut of new stars or someone coming up or the return of a superstar. And so for this to happen, it felt good. It felt good to have him come back. This was the right way to bring him back. And I believe they'll do the exact same thing on SmackDown in the sense of they've already listed the date that this mysterious cloud black smoke guy is returning. And we all know that it's Aleister Black.
Yeah, this man is not allowed to. He has to debut. He should have debuted in Vegas where smoking is ran rampant instead of anywhere else he goes because no one's going to let him in smoking all those cigarettes he's been smoking. His chain smoking. Someone open his door. Knock on his door so he can open his door to let the smoke out. Rusev is back and all that. And it did feel like you said, a lot of returns, a lot of surprise debuts, and a lot of new storylines being developed. So the next thing we go to is, I believe it's the EO comes out.
The EO?
The EO Sky. The EO Sky. Not the blue sky, the EO Sky. Comes out there, and she begins cutting a promo and does a very good job, gets 3 points in the ESL tournament. And then suddenly, the La Primera, Miss Diablo comes out there, Stephanie Becaire, the NXT Women's Champion, and she's here saying, I wanted to thank you, congratulate EO, but in paraphrase, I can whoop that ass. I want that title. I want all the gold. And so EO's like, you want it, bitch. Adam Pearce comes out there and make it seem like we're going to get this next week or at some pay-per-view, but it says, "No, we get it tonight." We didn't need him to say that. EO,
no. Let me just add in one little thing that Adam Pearce said. He came out there to make sure everyone else wanted this to happen. What? Adam, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? What do you think we want? So they go on and put on a wrestling clinic. They go on for, it feels like 15, 20 minutes.
Well, so during the watch-along, the first 5 minutes felt like they were just going through the motions and be like, we're getting nothing.
Yeah. They're just teasing us. They're going to interrupt this thing. And then it was like, they got serious. After the
they got really serious until Roxanne Perez came out. And then that was also followed by Julia coming out. And then a square off between Julia, almost a square off between Julia and Rhea Ripley. But Julia also ran away.
Yeah, Rhea sporting that nice shiner under her eye. I'm sure she got it in a ski accident, and it wasn't Randy Savage that punched her as Hogan claimed. Hogan, just admit you got your ass whooped. Come on. Randy got that ass. Anyway, do you think Stephanie, Julia, and Roxanne are all main roster wrestlers now after this segment? Or is this just something to give the fans for the Raw after Mania?
I think it's something for the Raw after Mania. I think maybe if you, I don't know if it's a thing where as I'm just going to call them the ESL talent, the foreign talent that English isn't their first language, they have to follow a script. As you saw, EO did it. And Stephanie did it when they were both interrupted by the fans.
They
they recycled back to the point where they remembered and then carried on.
Yeah.
I think I have a feeling Stephanie and Julia are probably going to stay in NXT for a couple more months till they announce the draft, and then that's probably when you start seeing them come up. Whereas Roxanne, I think, is more of a permanent fixture, and she's going to stay up.
Yeah. Okay. I think they're going to be permanent up. I think that the next time Stephanie probably defends her title, she's going to probably lose it because they don't technically need to be in NXT. You know, I mean, you know, they can get better promos or whatever in English, but they technically don't be there. And NXT has, like we said, a lot of women on their roster who need to be doing something. And so I think that you got to get rid of some of these veterans to actually get some of your development talent, some actual like TV time and time with the title. Because otherwise it becomes black and gold NXT where like Adam Cole and shit are holding young guys.
Yeah, but we say this, but like also down there, who didn't show up on Raw, and I get the feeling that she may show up on SmackDown this week. The Juggernaut, Jordan Grace. I get the feeling that she is also someone that has the look and the ability from being in TNA for a very long time and holding that division on her back for a while. That she probably doesn't need to be in NXT either. Yeah. She came in at a time where there was so much going on the main roster that she would get lost in the shuffle if you put her on the main roster straight away. So this may be also a time that she goes up, but I don't think you want to leave NXT too weak at that top position. So like you couldn't have. I don't think you could have all. How many people have I listed?
I think it's like 4. You got Julia. Stephanie,
yeah, you can't have all 4 leave.
Roxanne.
You can't have all 4 leave at this moment in time.
Yeah, I mean they could do dual. They could do the dual job that some people were doing. Like even you know Becky was doing both and stuff like that. That's how I would personally use them. That they're kind of blurring the line between their main roster and it's because the main roster does need an influx of new younger talent in the women's division.
Main roster does, but then the problem is you don't want the women's division of NXT to be like the men's division of NXT, where like people went up, but then nobody really stepped into those shoes. Trick kind of did, but like I don't really think he's a real main event player at this moment in time. Oba's doing his thing. So Oba feels like a final boss of NXT kind of thing. But like everyone else is like a little bit behind him, like in terms of where they should be on the card. I don't think Javon Evans should be in the NXT main event scene yet. I think he should be in the North American title scene for the time being. Not mid card, but like top of the mid card, where to earn, not even earn, but just to eliminate as much of the botchiness that he has. He wasn't as botchy on Stand and Deliver, but he has botched a lot in his short time in NXT.
And plus, he's 20 years old. You got him for a long time. You got him for a long time. It's not like you need to rush Javon and be like, you need to do all this. He's one of the younger people on their roster right now, if not the youngest person on the NXT current roster right now, or male talent right now. So it's no reason to rush that.
I don't want to see him till on the main roster till he's at least about 23, 24. Because if you look at the state of wrestling right now, people are staying on way beyond their welcome these days.
Yeah. Edge, Finn Balor's old now, and
like if you think about it, like there's a lot of people sticking around and wait to the point where it's like you're looking at it and going, "There's going to be no room for him." And then people are going to go, "Oh, you failed him in WWE," and then he goes to AEW, or the vice versa of like you didn't use this person correctly and stuff. It's because there's so many people at the top that's like a stage where they're so well known in a career that you can't let them go in the hope that if they go over there, they might make them more money.
Yeah. Manny, I know I'm jumping ahead to SmackDown. I think Trick Williams debuting on SmackDown this week, and I feel like this is the week Melo turns on the Miz, and they're gonna run that back with Trick and Melo. I feel like they're about to run that back because
maybe, but I
the
think
Miz.
they need. I feel like both of them still need a strong male lead to get them a little bit over.
Well, Manny, their male lead was the people's father, The Rock, who is a deadbeat dad.
No. Before they let them go, do you remember there was a time where Melo and Trick were doing things with being seen with the Hurt Business?
Yep.
On occasion, and we were all like, "Yeah, I could see that. That'd be a good move for them." There's no what like the Miz is a good person to have to get you to raise your character, but the Miz will only get you so far. The Miz will get you up to the mid card level. It's not like what we have on Raw right now, and we'll get to it at the end, where you've got Braun Breaker now with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman.
Yeah. With this super faction right now, or whatever they're creating. I'm sure it's gonna be one more in that group. But again, on Trick and Melo, I think they can run it together, run it back, and they can spice up that tag team division on SmackDown and be the Street Profits' #1 rival. That can go somewhere.
Definitely diversify it a bit more.
That can go somewhere. Moving on to the next segment of the show. Gunther they show the Jey Uso package. Jey Uso comes out. No. Yeah, he comes out.
Jey Uso comes out.
Yeah, they all celebrate. Everybody cheering. Sammy makes his return and teases a heel turn on Jey Uso, kind of. Always standing behind him, look like he's about to do the Haluma kick, but then they hug it out and remind people bloodline shit. Big Jim comes out, I think. Does he?
Yeah, Big Jim comes out. I just want to point out.
That's like 30 minutes.
So, Sammy really posted this on Instagram.
Okay.
The caption reads, "Host stay mad."
So is he calling him the hoe? No. Or is he referring to everybody that says they're going to break up? Who knows? But it's a nice team. It'll be a nice feud to go into. But do you really want to see Sammy go heel again? Because we had a lot of heel turns this week.
Yeah, I do, because I think Sammy. I don't want to get to a situation where Sammy retires from wrestling having been a never was.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know they're not gonna. He's not the person that they'll put a WWE title on.
They might.
Whereas no. But a world heavyweight title, sure, why not?
Yeah. I mean, the title has no lineage, no bullshit. Like John Cena was saying, this is the title that Bruno San Martino and the title he's talking about. He's carrying Steve Austin. He brought The Rock and all these other lineage. He did bring up Hulk Hogan. All these greats who have held his title. The World Heavyweight title has no history whatsoever. Sammy can win that title.
Yeah,
it could be a short reign for Jey Uso just to give it to Sami Zayn. But I don't know if that's the route they're going to go with. But it is intriguing that they did tease it just a little bit. Big Gunther's upset about this whole ordeal. It was 30 damn minutes of them celebrating. It's 30 minutes of them celebrating TV time. And then y'all just talking shit after this shit. Then you talk about loss and people are talking about tapped out. I'm tired of y'all spreading this fake news. I'm tired of this shit, Michael. And he threatened Michael and he choked Michael. Pat McAfee, those are points to get him off. And Pat ends up dead. And Shelton tried to choke him. His goons tried to jump the rail, only hurting Pat even more. And Pat is like, hey, y'all need to stop because that's the security stopping you guys. It should be security saving my life. Pat dies. Michael Cole says he's going to continue the show. Joe Tessitore is at ringside, unprepared without a jacket and everything.
Joe Tessitore looked like he came off from fucking or something.
He was in the middle of a bender. This guy not his bender. Well, I'm going to take the rest of the next 5 days until SmackDown, and I'm going to drink until that's over. And then all of a sudden, like, what the hell? What? It don't work. Ah, shit. I got sober out.
The best part was I don't have the image of it. So Michael Cole's talking to Michael Cole is backstage talking to Adam Pearce. And he's like, "Oh, I think he broke my nose, but you gotta let me have an opinion. How am I supposed to do my job if I can't have an opinion?" And then he's like, and then Adam Pearce is like, "Take the rest of the night." Oh, he's like, "I'm gonna do the rest of my job." That's when we cut to Michael Cole walking back, and then they pan to Joe Tessitore, who's at the desk. His jacket, he's in his jacket. He's in his shirt. He's got his glasses on. He's just about putting the headset on. This man looked frazzled.
Yes. Honestly, Joe Tessitore may have been the best actor on the show. If he was, or they didn't really tell him. But I like to say he kept it professional. He had a professional voice. I'd be like, "What do you want me to do? What the fuck?" If he did this. But,
Joe Tessitore is like every guy that's running late. He looks like every person that ever ran late. It's like, what am I fucking meant to be?
What am I supposed to do right now? Or the guy that got assigned a job because there's someone sick today, you have to take over the presentation. What? He's the third string quarterback on the bench saying, the second string ain't gonna get hurt. I'm good. Oh no, I'm in.
Warming his arm up.
I'm not supposed to play forever. But throughout the rest of the show, Michael Cole is complaining about we have to be able to have a good opinion. We have to be able to express ourselves. I feel threatened. I don't feel safe doing my job with animals like Gunther running around. Like this. We move into Dominic Mysterio.
Wait. This whole ordeal was also provoked by Michael Cole telling Gunther before Gunther decided to slap everything off him. Like, Gunther, you're the one that tapped out. Why are you going to provoke the man that's already angry and screaming at him?
Don't tell me the truth when I'm mad. I'm mad. You better lie. I didn't see you tapped out. I just thought your orange was twitching. You know, you have that twitch. You know, your orange twitches like this every now and then. Or you were about to go for a submission and the ref thought this was a tap. You're about to counter that shit. But I found that hilarious. That was fun. Dominic and Penta have a match, solid match. JD McDonough makes his return, costs Penta the match. Finn Balor and the Judgment Day seem to be on the same page, but kind of not really.
Yeah.
And then we go on to the main event on this 3-hour show. Paul Heyman comes out to the ring with Seth freaking Rollins.
The Banana Gang. The Banana Gang.
The banana and the pear.
He's more a plum.
You think he's a plum? He's too white to be a plum. He doesn't have a body like Shane Taylor, though. That's more of a pear-shaped body. I would say maybe an orange. He's an orange.
No. I can't say Paul Heyman is shapes because Paul Heyman doesn't come to the ring in spandex, where the spandex is holding all the shapes together.
Paul Heyman looks like a beach ball.
Paul Heyman looked like Violet from Charlie, the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. Violet, you're turning violet. Shit. Well, anyway, they were spewing hate and whatnot. And then CM Punk immediately comes out there. He's taped up his head. He wants to get his head on Paul. But Seth Rollins stumps his ass out. There's chance for OTC. We all know he isn't going to be here. And then, the music hit. OTC
No. You've left one vital thing out. After the stomp, Marcus, the credits came up.
Oh, yeah.
And Paul Heyman still had the microphone in his hand. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, we were like, wait, is this going to end like this without any explanation? The CM Punk getting stuffed out? And then they show the credits and it's like, we're not going to get enough of this. And then all that shit ends. And then the LTC comes out, Roman Reigns, the latest entrance comes out there, fights everything off. He looks like he has a bench, punches Paul, spears Rollins, and then he's going for one more spear for Paul. And then, boom! The Braun Breaker spears Roman Reigns, takes him out. And we go, holy shit. And then he spears Punk. And Punk gets stepped on again. and then we go off the air with this new faction, which Kane is calling the Separators.
I like it, but I think they'll get sued by.
I was so that, and the backlash they will get.
They get sued by what is it, Warner Brothers?
Yeah, Separators are the Heymans. With the Heyman.
The Heyman guys. Just call them the Heyman guys.
The Heyman guys. I mean, it's similar to the Callis family or whatnot, but what do you think of this faction? What do you think of the prospects of it? Where do you think it's going to go?
So I scolded Marcus immediately last night when he decided to compare. He immediately decided to compare the Callis family to what Paul Heyman had. And it's not fair. It's not fair.
It wasn't fair. Well, in the same week, a span of a week, Rocky Romero joined the Callis family.
Exactly.
And Trent returned.
Exactly. You can't compare these things.
You can do it, Manny. It is equal faction, manager, group and talent together. I know it's unfair that WWE has a real main eventer in Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. But I have a question.
Marcus, that'd be like comparing this gigantic cookie. Look at the girth.
Piece of chicken.
Look at the girth in this gigantic cookie. All these dog treats.
Hey, you never know. Dog treats could probably be better than a cookie. Who knows? Some people make some nasty ass shit. Let's get Ricky to do the taste test. You
can't give dogs chocolate, Marcus. It's poisonous.
I know that. Stupid dogs. Anything that's poisoned by chocolate is evil.
Not if you've been attacked by a Dementor, Marcus.
Eat your chocolate, Harry. Eat your chocolate. Do you think there should be anybody else included in this faction or whatnot, or you think this is what it is?
I don't want to see a tag team added to this because then we'll capture all the gold, blah blah blah. Bit boring. I like this thing of you've got the present and you've got the future. It's kind of a good look. You even go back to NXT when Paul Heyman was talking to Braun Breaker of being the future of the industry. And he said the one person that's going to be the one person to stop preventing you from being in the main event and progressing to be the future is Carmelo Hayes. I think this could be the state where the correct rising of Braun Breaker and taking Braun Breaker seriously, because Braun Breaker has not been taken that seriously at all this year.
No, since the move to Netflix, he's been featured only to do spears.
Yeah.
He's only speared I Shall Speed and Carlito like 900 times, and he hasn't really been featured. People cheer him because they know he's extremely athletic. And he's great. He put on a great match or pretty good match at WrestleMania as well. Who Braun Breaker is. I think we need to add maybe two more. I don't know who it is. I don't think it needs to span SmackDown and Raw as a faction. I don't know who the other people would be. But would you add a Drew McIntyre to this or
I think Drew can do himself. Like the essence of this is Paul Heyman's probably going to do most of the talking in this. When again Seth doesn't need a mouthpiece, but Braun Breaker probably does need a mouthpiece. I would like to see more younger guys in this. Have Seth surround himself. Like, maybe we try the Austin Theory experiment once again. Maybe we try that and break him away from Grayson Waller, because he's a joke right now too. Even though he was Vince McMahon's pick to be the future, you got to give him something, or he needs to be released.
Give me an NXT person. Are you going to the Don?
No,
I was joking about the Don because I know you hate him.
No. If the problem with the Don is he's a character, and I don't think he fits in that group. Now, if you bring up the Ruler to be with Paul Heyman. I think Paul Heyman could get his hands on another beast.
Yeah,
Why not?
my problem with the ruler, we already have muscle in the group. Braun Breaker's already the muscle.
So you need a dweeb?
I need somebody to take pins. Like when you said brought up Austin
So who you
Theory
got?
or whatnot, he's good. A Grande Americano, man.
Hey. He's numero uno. Remember that.
he is numero uno. And I will never forget it. He's currently in my top 5 favorite wrestlers now. What about I know I've mentioned NXT for you, but what about Karrion Kross? Kind of just out there. Cut promos on how he wants to be involved. He's a guy that I can have take pins. I honestly don't care. No one would care if he took pins.
If you take him, you've got to leave Scarlett off TV. You can't have him with Scarlett.
And then I'll pitch you one more person, Manny. He's not going to be somebody to take pins, but he could be in the faction. He's never really around, but he is a part of the Raw roster. Why not Logan Paul? He's a douchebag. Paul Heyman's a douchebag. Everybody's got a douchey in this. They can all hang out together.
You could, but are they going to cut out all the bullshit that Logan does?
No, because that's what makes Logan.
Yeah,
Logan,
but that's what made Logan Logan. But if you take that away from him and have him be serious with these guys,
he could, yeah.
You'd have to strip away a lot of that stuff. So I don't think, as much as people don't like Logan, I think what he does serves a purpose in WWE, and it's not just to bring in his following. If it was just that, you could have him. He'd be doing the most boring as shit. He's having good matches, and he's doing this a lot better than most guys on the roster.
Yeah, the problem with Logan Paul isn't Logan Paul. I don't think. I think it's again, you go all the way to the top, the booking. Triple H should just throw stuff together last minute with him. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're fighting AJ Styles." Okay, why? There's no real reason why. He's old. That's why. He's old. That's the story.
I tell you one thing I want to see happen. It may be selfish because we are people of color, but I would like to see a person of color of Paul Heyman guy. I would like to see it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're all actually all white. You can even go back to Curtis Axel, and Cesaro, which was and Brock Lesnar they were almost a thing.
Yeah, so I'd like to see. Do you know? I'll tell you one person.
A woman Shinsuke. Or a person of color?
I'll throw in Shinsuke. One last time to do something with Shinsuke. Throw him in that group.
A little old. Oh, but he could be the Ric Flair in the group. If this is like an evolution group, he could be the old man.
Yeah, exactly.
If you see a woman in the group, Becky is an obvious answer.
Becky's too obvious, though.
Yeah,
Becky don't need it. But Becky don't need it.
Maybe we can do 2 parts of what's the bring in Last Legend Jakara Jackson into the group. Why doesn't
I'd be mad. I'd be a little bit mad if Last Legend and Jakara. I think Last Legend needs to cut loose of Jakara. And you bring in Cara Armstrong from Evolve.
Callie Armstrong.
Well, it's better than Black Armstrong, Marcus. I'm trying.
I'm trying. It's hilarious.
But like I feel like she is more fluid in ring than Jakara Jackson is. You pair those two together, I think you've got a more formidable tag team.
If I were to add a tag team to this group, though, I would add American Made. I would separate them from Chad Gable anyway. It's not working anyway there. And Ivy now can go her way. But if you put the Creed brothers in there, they fit like Paul Heyman guys. I know they're just more white guys, but they fit like Paul Heyman guys. Like Julius Creed, ridiculously strong and athletic. Brodus is kind of there. But they kind of fit. They finally fit the mold. They fit the mold. Collegiate athletes and all that shit. But that was Raw. I thought very newsworthy Raw after Mania, but it did feel like a slog going through some of the packages and Jay Uso just celebrating and stuff like that. It just seemed like it dragged. I feel like it was a 2 hour show they stretched it through.
Yeah, but I felt like it was good though. That there's a difference of like Raw after Manias for the last few years have been shit. Like they gave you nothing. They really gave you nothing. So I don't know what it, and maybe because what's happened in the last few years made the bar go down so low that anything they did on the show, like even if they just had Stephanie turn up, anything would have been just like, okay, well done. But they did do a lot. There was a return. So there was return from injury. There was return from a WWE return. Then there was, I don't know if they're call-ups or not. Yeah, NXT appearances. But the one thing that was missing was a male NXT appearance.
They could save it for
They could save it for SmackDown. They could save it for next week and all that stuff.
I mean, because they have to build toward Backlash, which is coming up in, like I said, like 2 weeks or so. So they have to really try to rush and get everything out the way. I like that it did seem like a reset because that's what WrestleMania, Raw after WrestleMania has been missing. It just seemed like, oh, we're just continuing on, and then really happened after that. This felt like a real reset. This felt like we need to make the fans happy for what WrestleMania 41 is. They may call it publicly a success, but critically, I think it's considered a failure, even though I want people in the positive side of it. I think they call it a failure.
Financially, they'd probably call it a success. Financially.
Yeah, financially, that's critical failure.
Overall, was it terrible? No. Was it the worst WrestleMania ever? Again, no. But it wasn't exactly the best WrestleMania ever. It's kind of there in the middle. It's in the middle where you either liked it because it was WrestleMania and it was something different, or you didn't like it. And you're free to feel however you want about the show. I personally thought it was kind of just there.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how it is. It is going to be just probably there. To me, when I compare it to like 39 or the other previous ones I've been to, it's probably on the lower tier of that one. I think it's above 32. But of the ones I attended, but other than that, I don't hate this WrestleMania. I feel like it's a disappointment. It had a lot of potential. I mean, it had potential. It was middling. I don't know how to judge it. It just seemed like it was unstructured. Like,
I think like they lost
control of it.
The build was really all over the place. The European tour didn't help things. They didn't necessarily try as much on the European tour either. Like they could have, if anything, they could have brought the way they booked in America towards WrestleMania to Europe, but they didn't do that.
Yeah. So, Manny, how long do you think John Cena's 27 dates are going to stretch out to? Does he go to San Diego all the way to Survivor Series?
Well, I assume
that's a long way away. But
I assume we're going to get 3 a month. But the math ain't necessarily mathing. How many months we got left in the year? We got
8 months left in the year, or less than 8 months, just a little less than 8, 7 months.
So you do 8 times 3? That takes you to 24. So that would leave 3 more dates.
Well, you know what? He also has to say goodbye. Like when he loses the title, if he loses the title, there has to be, post something or whatever is going on. But maybe he just goes rush out. I don't know when it ends. I don't know when it actually ends. I'm assuming it's close to the end of the year. It's gonna really.
Yeah, I think it's close to the end of the year, permitting injury.
Yeah, because we already have Backlash coming up. It seems like he's going to have a match for that one.
I reckon he's heavily booked. I think he's got 2 dates for Australia. I think he's going to be on the SmackDown on Raw plus the pay-per-view.
I think he's going to skip Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to be on Money in the Bank.
He's going to skip Money in the Bank. He can skip it. The Money in the Bank is the Money in the Bank match. But it would be nice if he fought somebody at Money in the Bank. How many pay-per-views do we got left? Because we got Backlash, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam. Survivor
No, we're in the
Series.
4th month. So we've
And it's
got
coming between there.
you got like 8 or 7.
Yeah. San Diego might be where he ends his career. I mean, he did start his career in California, taking his wrestling career.
Okay.
San Diego would be a place to end it.
He could. It's just a bit complicated when you work out the dates and stuff like that, because you would assume he's only going to go to big cities now.
Yeah, because he said this is his last Royal Rumble match. He's not going into the. There's nothing really in December.
No,
So November, I think Survivor Series, this is going to be his last match. He gets Survivor Series stuff. They hasn't had that in a long time. And for no reason, Survivor Series is a stadium show. Survivor Series has not been built as a stadium show ever. It's been mostly an arena show. So,
you know what would be nice?
That's it.
You know what would be nice, Marcus?
What?
We do the reverse of CM Punk, John Cena, Money in the Bank.
Oh, I said that. Yeah, I want to do it.
But he's already said he wants to destroy the title. He wants to take it away, retire it. What if he just walks away, blows the kiss, beats CM Punk in the worst match imaginable, and then walks out?
I honestly think we can do the reverse. And if they decide to shoot this all the way, just do 3-7 days right away. Just shoot them all out. Like, he showed up on Raw and SmackDown, and he's like, hey, motherfucker, why are you showing up on NXT? Like, he just
let me do you one better. What if you start turning up to live events, Mark? They ain't even televised.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm at Evolve. And then, when that final day, I really think they should do CM Punk Chelsea that Money in the Bank. And that's just me being selfish because it's going to be in LA. That's also true. But I think
sell the shit out.
Yeah, the history right there. CM Punk, John Cena 2. You can't do at Money in the Bank because it's the second time they fought Money in the Bank. And it's the same situation, just reversed. This time, Cena's the asshole who's going to try to leave with the title. But I also think whoever's going to Cena is going to win, and I think it's going to get cashed in. The Money in the Bank is going to get cashed in on. Possibly. I don't know if it's going to be Breaker now. My thoughts was Breaker. Now that he's with Heyman, that kind of throws that out the window.
Yeah.
Unless he's going to cash in on Jay. But I think Seth is going after the World Heavyweight title, so.
I tell you what. I was down going into WrestleMania. I'm excited again. I'm excited again for wrestling.
Yes. It was a palate cleanser. It was a refreshing Monday Night Raw to be like, oh, we have options. Yeah. We don't know what's going on. And we don't have to worry about The Rock. But if Travis Scott's trained to be a wrestler, I'm sure we're going to get Cody Rhodes versus Travis Scott sometime. I'm thinking SummerSlam.
Mate, is it the two nights? Oh, fuck's sake.
Night one, Cody Rhodes versus Travis Scott. Night 2, WWE Championship match with John Cena or some shit. Or vice versa. Who knows? Cardi B's involved, so it has to be great. John Cena randomly shows up at Worlds Collide.
I don't think. Do you know Worlds Collide doesn't even seem like a show because it's AAA. Doesn't even going to seem like a show that I'm remotely going to enjoy. And
it's going to involve all the luchas,
and neither will Kevin Nash.
It's going to involve all the luchas. You get LA Park and all that shit should be on there. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? Like tonight, NXT, they're going to start showing up Worlds Collide. And it's going to be El Vikingo probably going to show up on there. Or
you think Tony's pissed about El Vikingo? Because he hasn't actually been back in AEW since he got injured, since he returned from injury.
No, remember, he came back. The reason he didn't come back is because, remember, they lost the deal with AAA.
Yeah, because they're strictly CMLL. Are they strictly CMLL now, AEW?
They're only strictly CMLL. They lost that deal, and then TNA made a deal with AAA first. And that's when Vikingo showed up in TNA and stopped showing up in AEW, which TNA is now basically owned by WWE, essentially.
They're under the WWE umbrella. I forgot to ask you and Eric yesterday. I don't know which night it was, but you two were both in attendance. You two
Yeah.
both were in attendance, and a yeah boo occurred.
Yes.
How did you feel?
I was really happy, and I said, "Don't let the Undertaker's proud." We were really going. I believe one of them was, and this is just the obvious one. I think Bianca and Rhea had one. Gunther and Jay didn't really do one. They did a yeet and whatever for a little
Yeah.
bit, but it never really took off. No, I was really happy about it. We looked at each other. Whenever it happened, me and Eric looked at each other and said, "Oh, they got us. They got us."
Because part
He
of me
really
was
got us.
if you were there in the box next to me, I would have looked at you, and you looked at me, and like,
They got us.
they got us. They got us.
They got us. They got us.
I can't. Whenever I watch it, wherever I am, if I'm at Pro Wrestling Eve, if one breaks out in Pro Wrestling Eve, I'm like, oh,
No.
I'm here.
He has ruined that spot. He has ruined it.
It's not ruined it, Marcus. He brought it back. He brought it back to prevalence because normally when it happens, I don't care. But before LFG, when it happened, I was like, it just happened. he made it seem like such a big deal. He's brought it back. It's like someone bringing back the abdominal stretch, or someone bringing back a hip toss or an arm drag to make it prevalent again.
Yeah, me and I were talking about we need to bring this back when they grab the orb and do the little twirl and do one elbow to it. We need to bring that shit back. That move hasn't been done.
Oh, the chain wrestling thing.
Yeah, I got the orb and I do the little twirl and they come around and like and they're holding
And then
it. And the guy just one elbow right there. Like, oh no, it's broken. One of my favorite old spots. Or just a move that no one does anymore. Worlds Collide, Manny. NXT starts their build tonight for it. Do you think it's just AAA, or do you think they're going to involve TNA and Noah? Because that is a Worlds Collide.
They do have some type of partnership going on with Noah. I don't know what it is. They do have something going on with Noah, but I don't think it's to the extent that we own them yet. It could be.
No, it's not a TNA situation. Yeah,
it could be at some point. Because I don't. If New Japan was smart, I think they should have ties, because New Japan need the influx of need the influx of new talent. WWE could throw some talent over there.
Yeah. Honestly, if they randomly threw, if New Japan said, well, it's clearly not going to be New Japan anytime soon. They're about to do Forbidden Door with AEW. So
yeah,
I'm sure there's some exclusivity with something right there. So it would probably be Noah. But I'm throwing Shinsuke Nakamura on NXT this week, and he's going to fight somebody from Noah on that card at Worlds Collide. I'll have, the TNA people come over, whoever, just, hey, you're wrestling this person or something. And then I would throw AAA. I'll make it a full experience of all the people WWE are partnered with.
I would like to see it. I would really like to see it, and I would at some point like to see this expanded more to the main roster too, where you see even more like main roster talent on the show, like what you saw, like what you see with Bloodsport at this moment in time.
Yeah.
The amount of WWE guys that fought just like people across professional wrestling, it was nice to see. And let me tell you, the Miyu Yamashita fight with Natty was incredible, and then Natty set up another fight with someone else.
Yeah, she was. Who was she? I forgot. Keely Page or something?
Yeah,
start fighting in the crowd, and I was like, "Oh shit, that looked legit." That was so blow.
And I'm just like, I'm intrigued to see it. Like, it's nice to see like WrestleMania week that WWE are being more involved in it. Like they're lending out talent to other shows to do stuff like that. That didn't necessarily make the Mania card. Like, at least Natty got to do something at around WrestleMania.
I would say Natty had a good weekend.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people who were not on the card had a pretty good weekend. They gave a lot of stuff for people to do, whether it's just hanging out and stuff. So We'll see. We'll see where we're going. We're in the future, and again, Dwayne Johnson blaming everybody but himself, coming out there doing PR to do the Pat McAfee show. Who I thought Pat was dead. I thought Pat was dead.
I mean, at least he could have worn a neck brace or something. Or sitting there with oxygen on.
But
he crushed. Marcus, if Gunther did this to me, I'd be telling he crushed my trachea for weeks.
I can't. I just want to show. Okay. That's how I would have been. I've been dead. But yeah, we'll see where we go with this Worlds Collide tonight. I'm excited for NXT. I'm excited for wrestling again, and I'm curious what AEW's doing this week. They had a great week last week.
Do you know what the problem is? The fact that we had a great refresh from Raw.
Yeah,
I was planning on taking a break next week. Don't think I can now. Don't think I can now.
You want to take a break? Take a break.
No, I don't think we can now. I feel like we need. I think the next break is probably going to have to be summer when things get a little bit quiet.
I don't know. Cardi B's gonna be around, so.
Marcus, I'll tell you, man. I've got some date. My dates are coming up too. I've got 30 dates.
They already got his 30 dates. The end is coming. The end is there.
You know, that's audacious because I could be done in 10 weeks because we do 3 shows a week.
Well, shit, I'm done.
and that's even faster if you think about it because you include pay-per-views as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
The last real podcast, there only 30 days left. So he has a week. A week left. And this counts shorts. This counts shorts too. So he may release a short there. How about that dive short? No, he did 30 days in a week.
Better yet, let me rephrase this. I'm not going to say 30 days. I'm going to say I've got 30 hours left in me this year.
Even lower. You'll be done in a week.
I'll do 2 Lego builds. I'll be done. I'll be done in 2 days.
All right. I thought it was gonna be a short show today. We somehow got an hour and 12 minutes on it today.
No, because we threw in actually decent discussion around other topics.
Yeah. I mean, solid show. God damn it. Cena versus Vikino at Worlds Collide. Just to get his date solid. But now that we all feel like Ava when she was growing up and her father not being around and The Rock over there hanging out with his real family now, it hurts. It hurts. World's deadbeat dad.
Yeah, so we'll be back.
People's deadbeat.
The people's deadbeat. We'll be back on Thursday with your NXT and Dynamite's reviews. Not reviews, recaps and reviews. And I don't know. Eric said he's not available for Saturday. It's me and
Eric
you
will
Saturday.
not be here Saturday. Yeah, just me and you. Eric is not available for Saturday.
So there's still a Saturday show. Expect your usual hijinks.
Yep, juggling and penis jokes.
So
we're juggling balls.
So Kane said it was fun. It was a fun time to do, essentially in reference to the watch-alongs. Man, you gotta let loose next time. I was on my best behavior around Kane and Jimmy, and I didn't say penis once. I didn't say penis. Okay. And I want you to count up the hours of those watch-alongs. That's over 10 hours. That's over 10 hours about me making a penis joke.
You changed, man. You sold out. Nah. That's like Steve Austin not doing the middle finger.
Nah, do you know what happened, Marcus?
What?
I had to be professional. We had guests on, Marcus.
Oh no.
It's like when your mom has guests over and you have to be doing your best behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Kane also mentioned not once was Manny cut off while speaking.
Ah! Son of a bitch. Well, Manny, I'm glad you're back to your normal form. I'm glad you're back to being cut off.
It's worse on the Saturday show because sometimes I have an opinion on the Saturday show and then I get cut off.
Well, we all need to start practicing writing down our thoughts and waiting for that person to finish. The problem with the Saturday show is that I want to stay on the topic, but Eric always wants to move on from a topic after he gives his opinion. And I go, wait, me and Manny haven't said shit, so I have to cut off. I have to jump in. It's like driving in Filipino traffic. I don't know if you know what that's like. I had a story about how bad driving is in Philippines, how it's like traffic lights are just
That's not just Philippines.
So you gotta be
That's
aggressive.
not just Philippines. That's Vietnam. That's all those little Asian cities.
Damn.
It's all bad.
I am never driving in those countries.
And then it's even worse when you get out of the cities of those places. Some people don't even drive with their headlights on. and then sometimes you're adjusting for speed. Adjusting for space. Sometimes one person will have just one headlight working, and you think, is that a motorcycle? Because it's dark.
Yeah.
No, it's a fucking lorry. Or a truck.
All right, but there's a donation button or a link in the description if you guys want to donate. I gave up on QR codes because they never work.
They don't work, or they expire, and it's
a waste of time.
It hurts his soul.
Yeah, just like this man. You told me you were going to be there. Instead, I got drunk Uncle Steve Austin crashing into somebody. I wonder if Steve Austin have a big with it. I don't want to be around The Rock, and he don't want to be around me, so I'm not showing up. Or was it not a Triple H dick sucking around the Hall of Fame?
Did you see Brett get so angry when Triple H shook his hand?
No, see, I think it's a misconception. He shook Triple H's hand, and then Brett had to look, but it's right after Austin said something to him. And I think that's what made Brett roll his eyes. Austin said something probably along the lines of, Triple H really happy. He's about to talk for a whole hour. I bet you. And I was like, I can't sit through that again. That's what it felt like. Triple H ego's out of control.
Also, Marcus, I went to bed on Friday, not watching SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up about 8 in the morning, maybe 9 in the morning my time. The Hall of Fame was still on.
Yeah. And people are criticizing Booker T and Bailey and Jey Uso for falling asleep. I ain't got time to hear Triple H talk for them nonsense about his career. We've been hearing about his career for his whole life. I'm so sick of hearing about it. Tired of it. Be humble. Sit down.
Yeah. Let's get out of it. I've been Lord Manny Hayes. He's been
Marcus, the grand finale. And tune in for on Thursday when we cover AEW and NXT. Well, I'm sure someone at AEW will take a pot shot at WrestleMania 41. I almost can guarantee there will be some mentioning a side microaggressive comment toward WrestleMania.
I know. I know Levi ain't around, but there's an argument that Dynamite was better than Night 1 of WrestleMania.
You know what? I would say yes. And you know what? Maybe it would be better than Night 2. That Dynamite was a really good Dynamite, but I would say Stand and Deliver got them both beat. I thought Stand and Deliver was the better show.
Stand
and
Deliver was a really good show. Did you watch the tag match? Please tell me you watched the tag match.
I still haven't watched it. I watched 3 matches from it, and they were all great. And so I gotta
watch the tag match. Let me tell you, me giving praise to a tag match is rare.
Yeah, I know. You hate them. Bitch had it coming, by the way. That's how I want to end the show.
By the way, if you like the way the new thumbnails are looking, let us know. And also, we need to get better new headshots.
Yeah, these are the only ones. I like that the new one has not been placed in our faces anywhere. It's just here. There they go. This is them. That's what they look like. But the Eric one will still remain the same, where Eric is just randomly sitting there going, hands up.
They can't see you.
Oh yeah, reaction shot.
We better get out of here now.
Yeah.
We
Liar!
have to.
All right.
Hey, that's Maui. Just so you know.
Yeah. Maui ain't gonna show up. It was like Moana 3, not featuring Maui. What? I didn't see Moana 2, but it's just Maui don't show up in Moana 3. And they don't even mention him. There's a problem. Travis Scott shows up in Maui's place.
I do like the recent meme of, hey, you coming tonight? And they send a picture of The Rock. What does that mean? I ain't coming.
People dead beat that. Right, bye.
Bye.